Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. And worst of all, a poacher! And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain...
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Going on? It was just it's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse! You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it? Well, it was somewhat unexpected. I must say it was the first time I had a noose around my neck, and it wasn't the most pleasant experience.
Please, accept my apologies, sir. And that of my chamberlain, too. Is that not so, Ulrich? I must say in his defense that he had my orders not to admit anyone to the castle, and to be cautious.
I understand, sir. At home, some bandits got into Tamberg by subterfuge, and it cost us a lot of effort to reconquer it.
I'm glad you understand. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Rattay showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, Because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering how to... And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would...
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans. However, the question is whether it's possible to join fire with water and end up with anything but nasty smoke. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy. So we have common interests, too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's...
His house has always been loyal to mine. I do not expect any great obstacles. He will take his time over being persuaded.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect...
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness.
Don't worry, sir. I have...
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Thoth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount, and therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please... allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
I think you owe him a proper apology.
I think I've apologized more than enough. Even though I had little reason not to regard him as a poacher. But still, I will try to rectify my error. Nevertheless, welcome to Trotsky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
You
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you. Or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Good. I don't think I could stomach much more of your company.
Likewise. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
I'll be happy to help you, friend. You shouldn't work so hard. You'll wear yourself out.
It's just I don't like lounging about, sir.
Why?
I get the feeling life's passing me by.
Is there any work around the... demons?
Quiet. But yes, unfortunately.
You mean horned ones?
Do you know any other kind? I'm preoccupied, but I suppose you could do it.
You want me to get involved? At least tell me more.
Ah, you know that war, bandits... The castle is built upon the spawn of hell.
How many do you think there are?
A lot. Certainly more than expect, at least 10.
And I've never seen a so what needs to be done?
Our cooks, Manietta and Berto, were complaining about the creature. Ossina, the castle blacksmith, was also... The good news is, for now, we have to act quickly to...
What did you do about it in the past?
We usually cleansed the infested places, except for that 1 year...
Lord von Berghoff has my... How long did they fight? And what kind of armor was loose?
Oh. In any case, you'll have to... And then simply make sure to get... I'm sure both the scribe Erazim and Father... The question is if you're up to it.
I'm ready to scour the castle. Could you arrange for me to be able to go wherever I want in...
Very well, but don't stay any longer than... I'll let the guards and servants know. If anyone asks...
You said something about a priest and an apothecary.
We've always used either holy water or magic water from the apothecary. Which one would you prefer?
I reckon the holy water is more...
If I recall, I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, but don't make too... God be with you. Excuse me.
Good to see you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad. So far.
What kind of tasks do you do for Lord von...
Rare ones, lad. His lordship spends little time at Trotsky.
What does the Royal Chamberlain...
I understand, lad.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir Otto von Burgo is the Royal Chamberlain. He manages the royal towns and monasteries, approves the councillors...
Why does Sir Otto...
Because that's the seat of the royal court, and our lord is Praga Kaput. Prague is the heart of the kingdom. All the political threat... If you want to be somebody, or to Moravia, to that
Excuse me, but... Why do you consider...
And what else should I call a person who only looks out for...
But now he's fighting for a King
Jobst has changed sides so often. But, to give him... Wenceslas wasn't even able to hold on to the imperial... Yes, indeed. One day that he might even become...
Why doesn't Lord von Berghoff free our King Wenceslas from captivity?
It's politics.
I understand. Why did they take our king captive? And why did...
That's complicated. Back during the... And when young Wenceslas came to the throne, he didn't have enough... That's why he surrounded himself with faithful lower lords and entrusted them with all the royal...
I reckon the high nobility didn't like that, eh?
That started a protracted war, dragging the king's cousins, Prokop and Jobst of Luxembourg, into it. But King Wenceslas was stubborn, unyielding, and, unfortunately, also often drunk. He preferred to run away from politics. It was only a matter of time before the lords conspired. A year ago, they got together and captured Wenceslas in Prague. And they secretly took the king to Vienna, where his...
So von Berghoff and the others want...
Not at all. Soon they discovered they'd miscalculated. I think that's why Lord von Berghoff received your message.
Who are among Wenceslas...
Who do you think? All the nobles in the League of the most powerful are Henry of Rosenberg, Henry of Hraditz, Boresh of Riesenberg, Bohuslav of Schwamberg, and our Sir Otto von Berghoff, too, so far.
But we serve Sir Hanush of Lipa and Radzig Kobyla.
Exactly. They're representatives of the lower nobility, who always stood faithfully by Wenceslas because he handed out royal positions to them.
Ah, damn politics.
On the contrary, boy. It's only thanks to politics that von Berghoff didn't send you two to the gallows straight away.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting... Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom.
Perhaps you know more about... Well, I'll have to disappoint you. And the one you're looking for, he left with it before I could even... All I remember is the author's... I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount...
I'll have a talk with Nick Vard and find out...
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already offered to address this, it seems Nick Vard... I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around, but Nick Vard is old and stubborn.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nick Vard are too...
But, as I said, Nick Vard... I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently.
I reckon those aren't the only...
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken... Nick Vard is a loner. Now that he's decided to leave his... But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord...
I'll help you.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure...
I won't keep you any longer.